Hi everyone, welcome again to the drum channel. I'm Adrian, thanks again for watching. This is part 2 of a video related to salsa. Now if you haven't seen part 1, worth seeing. The lesson is basically talking about what to play in a salsa band when you don't know what to play. So this we spoke about the verse in the last video. This video is talking about the chorus, and this is where things start to get a little bit cool. And again, coming back to my original point is that when I started playing in bands, nobody really told me what was going on, or they kind of just pointed at me and said, you're doing something wrong. So this will hopefully get you through your first salsa gig until you start to learn playing with these other guys and picking their brains, because a lot of them just feel this stuff and don't really know what's going on, with all due respect, because they do know what's going on. So this is called the chorus groove. It's known as the songo. So this is a rhythm that's actually designed specifically for the drum kit by a guy called Chunquito. If you haven't seen him, he's amazing. And so nobody else in the band is playing the rhythm that you're going to be playing for this first example. So this is a basic songo. Foot pattern hasn't changed from the last video. This is still playing what we call the bombo, or the bombo note, but the basic foot pattern. There's that happening, and there's something else happening in the hand. So I'm going to play this very basic pattern. This is pattern number 1 on your sheet, and we'll go from there. Okay, basic songo, there it is. So that was obviously playing quarter notes in the hats. You can do the same thing on the ride, on the bell, playing that, and you can sort of move it around the drums a little bit if you like. But the most important part about that rhythm is what the snare drum was really doing there. So the accents and the ghost notes are very important. So I would practice that very, very slowly until you sort of got a real grasp on it. Move it around the drums, do some fills coming in and out of it, that kind of thing, because you have to do a big fill leading into a chorus to go into that groove, all right? It's really important. Okay, we're going to step it up a little bit. What we're going to do now is we're going to add a bell pattern, a cowbell. So I have a cowbell right here. This is called the bongo bell. It's a very large bell, so it's not. There are specific bells for specific things. This is the bongo bell, and sometimes there is a player in the band dedicated to playing just this bell, and you'll hold it up like this and play the bell like that. Sometimes I double it, sometimes I don't, but in this case, most of the time I do. So I'm going to play the songo, as you heard it before, same foot pattern, same snare, and we're going to go with a bongo bell, cowbell pattern, which sort of emphasizes the quarter note like we did before, but with some extra notes in there as well. Okay, so you can kind of imagine that happening with all this other stuff and dances and lots of crazy stuff. Yep, cool. All right, we're going to step it up one more time to the hardest pattern. If you glance back at the first video, we talked about the clave being the key for all this. Up till now, the clave hasn't been present in this particular pattern. I would only play this pattern that we're about to do. I would only play this if it was really necessary to, if there weren't as many people in the band and you really felt like you needed to cover the parts. Sometimes if you're playing too much, like I've said before, the drummer is the support for this particular situation. If you're playing too much, you'll kind of get a few greasies from the timbale player and from the conga player. So I would only do this on extreme circumstances, but it's still very cool. So clave in the left foot on another cowbell, which I've got down here. So basically what I'm going to do is play exactly what you heard there, but instead of the hi-hat playing quarters, I'm going to do the clave, and we'll see what happens. All right, so there it was. All right, so there's a little bit going on, 4-way coordination there. Okay, so what we're going to do now, after all that, is I'm going to play about 8 bars of the normal songo pattern, and I'll just put quarters on the hi-hat so you can sort of feel the groove. And then I'm going to embellish it a little bit. I'm just going to start to move my left hand particularly. I'm going to move my left hand around the drums a little bit and add some fills and all that sort of stuff, and just play within the flavour of the style. Okay, and then I'll come back to the salsa. I'll come back to the songo at the end. So that's what this will sound like.